Hi, good morning. This is Evi Sayono. Today I will be continuing my reading of a book entitled Should I Stay or Should I Go? Surviving a Relationship with a Narcissist, written by Ramani Durvasula, Ph.D. I will continue the introduction part. Is this you? The pages I'm reading today will be pages 8 up until 12. And the tropical breezes, the view from the bed, the long sexy mornings. Before she knew it, the strip club and his inattentiveness slowly became a distant memory. During the trip, she made him promise, please, never again. No more strip clubs or any of that. Page 9. He agreed. The wedding was less than 2 months away. The late nights had abated, and she just chalked up his behavior to some last bachelor's jitters. They were back on track. The wedding was a success, an unforgettable weekend, beautiful weather, everyone and everything was fabulous, and the photographs a testament to that perfect day. The honeymoon was joyful, the rapturous, and a perfect start to a perfect life. The doubt faded. They came back to regular life. John and Rachel went back to work. They put away the wedding gifts, and life returned to its usual rhythms. But she was married now, and that had to mean something, right? They played the role of successful young married couple quite well, and then 2 years later, she was pregnant. It was joyous news, as she had looked forward to a family. But the more pregnant she became, the more he detached. Rachel was a bit anxious during the pregnancy, often asking John for reassurance, and he stuck to his story of late hours, not listening, and telling her that it would be over soon and they would be a family. She had fantasies of him massaging her feet, picking out names, putting together furniture. But his behavior was the usual. Little empathy for her discomfort, little interest in the process, lots of concerns about how she would balance a baby and him. The baby arrived, a beautiful boy, and their rhythms changed. John insisted that Rachel leave her job. His practice was growing and money was good. They moved to a bigger house in the best neighborhood. And then they had a daughter. Pregnancy and children became a rhythm, and before long, Rachel was drawn into the cadence of motherhood, house life. Joan's late returns home often made less of an impact because she fell asleep, exhausted as soon as her children went to sleep. He worked and made money. She raised the kids. Rachel hated having to ask him for money, something she never had to do as an adult. And he would frequently question her and call her out for her life of ease at home with the children while he worked hard. But after 7 years out of the job market, she believed that she was not of much use to anyone with her outmoded skills. Page 10. In the 9 years since they were married, the patterns were the same as before. Late nights, lots of secrecy, not listening, and little support. But they were really good at putting on a show for other people. A review of their holiday cards revealed big smiles, great vacations, suntans, a perfect facade. Rachel felt like she couldn't complain despite her concerns, her loneliness, and the million subtle ways she felt unheard and disconnected. The kids were ensconced in the finest of schools. Their home was beautiful, and to the world, they had it all. As the kids grew older and had more of a routine, she was awake at night, and John still didn't come home. Was infrequent, and she sometimes reiterated her request that he not ever go to the strip clubs again. He would always laugh at that suggestion. He remained secretive about his phone and computer, but got it right often enough that the fights would come and go, and she would hold on. Self-doubt was a normal place for her. She felt like she had transformed from once being a confident and self-assured executive to being a quivering nerve, obsessing over small details at home and tense with their children. She was as beautiful as always, and when other men paid attention to her, it would feel like a foreign experience because her husband had stopped noticing her a long time ago. At a routine doctor's visit, the doctor informed Rachel that she had an abnormal pap smear, and she frequently found out that she had HPV. Since she had never had with anyone but her husband, she then knew that she had a much bigger problem than his strip club visits. She sent the kids to her mother's and confronted him when he got home. A huge argument ensued, with screaming and accusations, and the enormity of what he had been doing became known to her as she finally asked to see phone bills and other records. He had had numerous affairs over the years, typically adult dancers, cocktail waitresses, and reality stars in training. He had even acquired an apartment for his girlfriend du jour. Receipts revealed that he had spent nearly $100,000 on gentlemen's clubs, airline tickets, vacations, rent, and gifts for these women. She asked him to leave, and in the subsequent months, he begged to be allowed back. Her mother asked if she knew what she was doing, kicking him out. Men make mistakes. His apologies felt so sincere. Was she really ready to strike out on her own as a single mother with 2 kids? More self-doubt. It felt like everyone was in on it. She eventually let her mother know about the HPV and the rest of it, and her mother finally understood. There were months of back and forth and apologies, and even while he was apologizing, John was going home to the apartment he shared with a 24-year-old girlfriend he met at a bar. The divorce was long and arduous, as he would frequently hide assets and untold tens of thousands in legal fees later. They were divorced. In the years after the divorce, his lifestyle, which he endlessly posted on Facebook, consisted of young and younger girlfriends, new haircuts, faster cars, weekends in Vegas, and an unwillingness to pay his children's tuitions and other expenses. His clever attorneys left Rachel in a position of financial uncertainty. His family believed the many terrible things he had shared with them about her and offered her little support. However, Rachel says she is now at peace, but having to manage his inconsistency with the children, his not showing up for weeks at a time, breaks her heart, as the kids still love him. In the aftermath, the one question was, did you see this coming? Postmortems are always so clear. Hindsight is 2020. We are all fortune tellers after the fact. The cheating, the lying, the meanness, it was there from the beginning. What once could be packaged as him being confident, self-assured, hardworking, and successful revealed itself for what it was. The voices of others telling her she was lucky to have such a successful guy. Her mother transferring her own scripts onto her daughter. Ultimately, she thought her love would transform him, She believed the rescue fantasy. In order to make the marriage last for the 10 years it did, Rachel silenced her instincts, was overtaken with doubt, isolated herself from the world because she was so ashamed, and gave up on herself. When asked if she thought she could have stuck it out, she reflected on asking for only one thing, that he not go to adult clubs. And he was unable to honor that one request. Strangely, it was the strip club attendance that ultimately broke her, beyond the decade of disrespect, rudeness, meanness, neglect, and simply not being heard. She was still surprised about how easy it was to get snowed by lifestyle and the expectations of others. This is one story of one who stayed and then ultimately left. For reasons of anonymity, it is in fact the amalgamation of many stories woven into a fairy tale and cautionary tale. This book is a guide on how to stay or how to go. Rachel said that if I listened to those early red flags, I may never have gotten in. Or if I knew that he would have never changed, I would have gotten out and jumped into a new life sooner. For as long as I stayed, I wished I had better strategies, because I am still dealing with the legacy of self-doubt and the sense that I am not good enough. Our experiences make us who we are, but figuring out a way to cut our losses can allow us to accumulate better and more respectful experiences and spend our time in truer places. What is your story? Should you stay? Should you go? Keep reading. I'm ending my reading this morning at the last part of the introduction. Today is Wednesday, December 20th, 2023, and I'm reading a book entitled Should I Stay or Should I Go? Surviving a Relationship with a Narcissist, written by Ramani Durvasula, Ph.D. Thank you for listening. See you again next time. I'm Effie Sayono. Bye.